What's going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here, back with another Pokemon TCGO video. Before we get started, if you can, please show some shady love to that like button right below this video, because this video, as you guys can tell by the title, is going to be a short tutorial video. I know a lot of you guys got really excited about me doing TCGO on the channel, and some of you guys were like, I don't really understand what's going on, and some of you guys were like, I hate this so much. So you don't have to watch if you don't want to, but if you want to learn the bare basics of how to play this game, stick around. We're going to make a short little video on that. Now, what I want to tell you guys, first of all, is in the description, there's a link to download Pokemon TCGO. When you go to download this and you sign up, you're going to run through some tutorials on how to play the game. I've already done that, so I can't do it again. But if you want to go ahead, download it right now, pause this video, download it, install it, make an account with them. I just use your email and your whatever you felt like you're making an account with anything else, like you did with YouTube, like you did with Facebook, all that stuff. So do that, and then you can actually run through the tutorials as I'm explaining things, so maybe it'll work as a dual fold thing. Go ahead and do that if you're interested in playing, and then if you don't like the game, just uninstall it off your computer. It's no big deal. I promise it's virus free as long as you use the link in the description. So you'll see my deck. Now, this is the Shift Tree deck. I didn't want to use a new deck because if you guys did watch the other series, the first Pokemon TCGO series I used the Shift Tree deck. And since you guys are familiar with it, I wanted to go over the thought process of building a deck, what you want to do and all that stuff. You can see this is the deck manager. You get here by clicking over here. You'll hit deck manager right there, and that's where we are. This is actually, let me go somewhere else first. Let's go to collection. And I'm going to show you really quick deck manager. This is going to be a complete TCGO guide. It's going to be like basically how to play the basics of Pokemon. So the main gist behind playing the Pokemon card game is that you want to grab 6 prize cards. You guys may have noticed if you watch the battles. And by the way, if you want to check out those Shift Tree battles because you haven't yet, link is in the description below. The main point of Pokemon is to knock out 6 Pokemon or essentially pick up 6 prizes. Now, it used to be that you could knock out 6 Pokemon. Each time you knock out a Pokemon, you get 1 prize, unless the card states otherwise. Some Pokemon will allow you to draw more than 1 prize when you knock them out, and some Pokemon, when they do the knocking out, will allow you to pick up an extra prize. So, a great example of that is EX Pokemon. Whenever you knock out an EX Pokemon, you pick up 2 prizes. It says so right on the card, though, so it's very easy to understand that. Another example of picking up extra prizes would be Lugia EX. When you knock out a Pokemon, its move, if you describe, I think its ability is that when you knock out a Pokemon using this Pokemon, draw an extra prize. So I actually might have that card. Let's see. Lugia, yes, right here. That's this card. Overflow. If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage for an attack of this Pokemon, take 1 more prize card. There you go. Perfect example. You can also see right over here, Pokemon EX rule. When a Pokemon EX has been knocked out, your opponent takes 2 prize cards. So that's when you take an extra one. So if Lugia were to knock out an EX Pokemon, you would actually draw half your prizes. And that's how you win in the Pokemon game. You want to draw all of your prizes. And I hope you're going through the tutorial at this point, because I'm probably going to miss some stuff. But when you're building a deck, it's very important to understand that you can only play basic Pokemon. Evolving Pokemon is part of the trading card game where you have to go ahead, say you have a C-Dot out, you want to go ahead and place your Nuzleaf right on top of it in order to evolve it. However, you cannot evolve the first turn that you play a basic Pokemon. So for example, if turn 1 I open up with C-Dot, I cannot go ahead on that same turn and place down Nuzleaf, and I can't go ahead and place down Shift Tree. I have to wait 1 turn between each evolution. So calling it out, wait 1 turn, then I can evolve. And that includes cards such as Rare Candy, which allow you to skip the middle stage. A lot of Pokemon trading card game is just knowing the basic rules and then getting familiar with the current meta, and you do that just by playing. That's why I encourage you guys to download this after watching this video, during watching this video, and go ahead and give it a shot, because you'll learn a lot just by playing and watching other videos, other YouTubers such as J-Witch. If you want to go learn a lot about Pokemon TCGO or Pokemon TCG in general, go watch J-Witch, top TCG YouTuber in my opinion. I think that's who you can learn the most from. I used to watch Elo a lot as well. Not sure if he still uploads though. Give me 1 second. I'm really drying out here. So when building a deck, it's very important to understand that you can't build a deck without basic Pokemon. Something else you should know, that all EX Pokemon are basics. Even if it says Charizard EX, that is a basic. You'll see in the top left corner of the card right here how it says basic. That's how you'll know. Much like first stage Pokemon will say stage 1, and stage 2 Pokemon will say stage 2. So in your deck, you general rule of thumb, it depends very greatly on the build, but for a basic deck, you want to have at least somewhere around 8. You can see that I only have 17 Pokemon. You want to have somewhere around 8 to 10 basic Pokemon at least. I'd say 8 to 12. But this deck is very specific where I have 2 Miltank. I could actually go ahead and take out a Phoebus, but I really like having these in here. Realistically, a good thing to do would be to take out a Milotic, and because I probably wouldn't use its ability more than once. I'm going to go ahead and actually do it right now. I'm going to take one of these out, and I'm going to add another Miltank, because Miltank is really, really powerful. And now I have a total of 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 basic Pokemon, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm going to leave it like that for now. Miltank is really, really powerful, so I should have had 3 in there in the first place. But then you have other cards called trainer cards that you're going to leave into right now. But basically, you want to know when picking your Pokemon for your deck, you want to stick with 1, maybe 2 types total except for normal type Pokemon like this, because those blank white ones mean that any energy make that happen. I can put a grass energy on there. I can put a water, psychic, whatever. It's basically a colorless energy, which means that any energy will do the trick. That's like if you look at Shiftry's attack, he needs 1 grass energy and then 2 of any other ones, which usually in my deck end up being grass energies or 1 double colorless energy, because that counts as both of those, but we'll get into that in a little bit. That's basically the gist of the Pokemon aspect of your deck. Basic Pokemon, very important. Evolving is good. EX Pokemon are really powerful, but they cost you 2 prize cards when they get knocked out. Energy costs are right there on the card. You'll also see retreat costs on the bottom here. That's how many energies you'd have to discard that were currently attached to this Pokemon in order to retreat. You'll also see the weakness and resistance. I take double damage from fire type Pokemon and no resistance whatsoever for C-Dot, so that's kind of a sad day. That's gonna be it for Pokemon. Like I said, this is a very short tutorial. We're gonna move on to trainers. Trainers are basically cards that they kind of work like trap cards and magic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! If you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! That would be the best way I could describe them. They are one-ofs, usually. They're stadium cards which stay on the field, much like stadium cards. I can't think of what they're called in Dragon Ball Z card game, but they have about time to and all that stuff. But you'll have your basic trainer cards, and the best way to get familiar with these, just Google best trainer cards Pokemon TCG 2014, and you'll see all the top ones. Some of the top ones include N, which forces each player to shuffle their hand into the deck and draw the same number of prizes. So if my opponent only has 2 prizes left and he has like 20 cards in hand, if I use this card, he's gonna shuffle his whole hand into his deck and draw only 2 cards. So it's really good for putting your opponent in a bad spot, and it's also really good for refreshing your hand early game when you have 6 prizes. Professor Juniper, discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Very, very good when you're low on cards or you don't have anything you can do. You get to draw a whole new hand. Something important to know about trainers though, you'll see some trainers have the word supporter in the top right. That means you can only use 1 supporter per turn. So I can't play a Juniper and an N in the same turn. 1 supporter per turn. Items though, you can play as many items as you want per turn. That includes A-Specs. A-Specs, you can only have 1 A-Spec in your deck. Those are the biggest rules you can see for trainers. Supporters, you can only use 1 per turn. Items, you can use as many as you want, except for A-Specs, which can be, I believe they have both items and trainer A-Specs. I could be wrong about that, but you can only use 1 of those in your entire deck. So that's something good to note. Something else I want to, because I didn't say it at all, and I apologize for this, but you can only have up to 4 of the same card in a deck. Kind of obvious when I'm only running 4 C-Dots and 4 Shiftries, and then that's my main focus. You can only have 4 of any card in the deck. That's why I have 4 rare candies, I have 4 Ns, and 4 Junipers. 4 Skyla. Skyla is another great trainer card. Search your deck for any trainer card reveal and put it in your hand. This is good if you're really low on cards and you draw Skyla, you'll be able to scoop a Juniper out, use it next turn. You can go ahead and find an Ultra Ball, a Great Ball if you want to search out Pokemon. Like I said, the best way to learn about the game is to play it and read the cards. You can go ahead, when you go into TCGO and you download it, you'll get a free starter deck. You can go ahead and use it. You also get new cards by playing. You can buy packs with the coins. You can see I have 874 coins. You can buy coins. You'll also see that my username is ShadyPenguinn. I'll touch on that at the end of this, because I know there's some of you guys that are veteran players, so you're going to want to stick around. In case you have a deck you want me to use and you want to trade it to me, you can do that. I have energies for trade. Just go search ShadyPenguinn, offer me a trade, and I will use the deck. You definitely don't have to, because I don't want to take those free cards and stuff like that, but I know some of you guys have been asking, how can I give you stuff on TCGO? Just find me. I have like cheap cards that are for trade in my binder or anything. I dupe this up. Go ahead and select one of those, and then whatever you want to give me, I'm cool with that. I'll accept it. But you'll see I have 30 trainer cards. In this deck, and in most decks, I feel like trainers are the focus. They help you. They're your engine of the deck for the most part. That's not true of every deck, but for the most part, I feel like trainers keep your deck going. So that's why cards like N and Juniper, Skyla, they're all very, very important. And basically, you can learn the most important trainers, like I said, by Googling, playing on TCGO, you'll learn a lot of stuff. That's basically the gist of trainers. Now, the very last thing is energy. I'm running 10 grass energies and 3 double colorless. There are special energy cards, but my deck does not call for them. You'll have cards like this. It's a special energy. It says it right up there. It's a special energy. My deck works best with basic energy cards because Shift-U's ability lets me discard a basic grass energy in order to draw 3 cards. Then you have this energy. You'll have this one, which provides a colorless energy, and then it can do any energy, the rainbow energy. You can do any color it wants, psychic, steel, whatever, just one at a time. It can't fill more than one. That's basically the gist of building a deck and the rundown of playing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a match really quick, and I'm going to take this battle extremely slow. I want to save my changes though. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's save my changes. Why is this not a valid deck? Hold on. What's wrong with this? What is wrong with that deck that it says it's not valid? Edit. Huh. Why is that? All I did was change one thing. Wait, why do I have 17 Pokemon all of a sudden? Oh, I had 17 Pokemon. I had 12 basic. I don't understand. Maybe Miltank is only limit 2? I don't know. Let's just see this. Your deck is not valid. Structure contains standard illegal cards. Huh. Which cards are illegal now? What did they change? I want to know what's illegal. It's not energies. Huh. Well, maybe if I don't save anything. Well, I saved it unfortunately already. So why? Well, I really want to use this one. Why is it? Why can't I use this? I'm so confused. What's not standard? I don't understand. Well, I'll be right back once I figure out what's not standard in this deck. Alright guys, so if you ever run into this problem like I just did, you see this button right here, make deck standard, and you'll go in and it'll show you which card is actually causing the problem, and it turns out that Super Rod is no longer standard, which really stinks for my other deck. So we only lost Super Rod, so I gotta figure out a trainer card that works. Why is Super Rod banned? Let me see. Maybe it was just that specific Super Rod? Yeah, it was just that specific Super Rod. That's really, really weird. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead. And I want to grab one match for you guys. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad. Okay, maybe it's not standard still. What the heck? So I got to keep Super Rod out of there. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I can't put Super Rod in there. Well, for now, we're going to go ahead and just throw another switch in here. Because I know that that's a pretty good card. Actually, let's go for a catcher. Let's put one catcher in here. Why the heck not? Let's do that. Save. Let's go try it out. There we go. I don't know when Super Rod got banned. It must have been super recent. Super recent. Let's go for random battle, ranked, and we're going to select this deck right here. And let's hit play. So you guys are familiar with this deck if you watched the series before, but I'm going to take this one really, really slow, going over all the basics of the game that I just went over in that short deck building portion of the video. I don't know why I don't hear any sound. I don't understand. I apologize if there's no in-game audio, but I really wonder why that is. I don't understand. Well, let's see. We're gonna see who goes first. We flip a coin now. It's asking me I would like to go first, which means my opponent must chose heads because we got tails. Now, you're gonna see I have no basics in my hand. This is a struggle, but the reason why it's not that big of a deal running low basics is because you have end, which the only advantage. What happens is if I don't have a basic, my opponent gets to draw an extra card. But if I end them, then it doesn't matter. The extra card is pointless. So let's see. We didn't open up with an end, and we still got another one with no basics. This did not happen when we played before. Still no basics. Oh my goodness. Now we got 2 basics. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to actually let Phoebus sit out there because we're going first, and we can't attack turn 1, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Seedot on the bench and try to build it up. So every turn you can play as many basic Pokemon as you want. You can only play 1 energy per turn. I did forget to mention that in the deck building portion of the tutorial, so I hope you made it this far. He's going to decide if he wants to draw 3 more cards. Of course he wants to draw 3 more cards. I'm really confused as to why Super Rod is banned. I'm going to have to Google that after this video. But you'll see we picked up a Miltank. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw a Muscle Band on there. And I'm going to let Miltank get ready. Because I think what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to N or Juniper. I think I'm going to want a Juniper. I'm not going to want to N. I know my opponent got those extra cards, but he already played all of his basics out, so there's really nothing we can do. We don't want to use Ultra Ball because Ultra Ball, what it does is I have to discard 2 cards, which means I'd be discarding my Juniper. So I'm going to wait till next turn to do that. So I'm going to end my turn right here. We can see that my opponent is running some sort of water deck. It's going to be a Blastoise deck. I already know it's a really, really, really solid deck. Fortunately, we do have type advantage since we have a grass type deck. I did not take note of that in the beginning because I was just focusing on Miltank. But we can see that he's going to build up his Keldeo that's on the bench. He's got 3 EXs on the field right now. So if we knock those 3 out, we're good. We also want to take care of that Squirtle because this deck, and I only know this from playing the game, focuses on Blastoise being able to play as many water energies as possible. So we actually top decked another Ultra Ball. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Ultra Ball, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look for my Nuzleaf. Thankfully, it's not my prize zone since I only run one, and I'm going to go ahead and evolve my Seedot. Now, I had to wait one turn to do that. That's why it didn't matter about me getting it next turn. Now, luckily, I have Juniper in hand, so I'm going to use it, and it's going to let me draw 7 more cards. We're going to see that I'm going to actually gain Seedot, and I am going to... I could catch or something else in, but it's really pointless against his deck because he does have Russian. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up my my soon-to-be Shiftry. Let's do that, and we can evolve our Milotic. Although there's really no point. I kind of just want to let this thing die. Plus, does this have a retreat cost of 2? It does. So I'm going to go ahead and wait. I'm going to end my turn. I don't want to evolve into Milotic right now because I might have to retreat my Phoebus because he's just going to allow me to sit there and he's going to set up all day, every day. We can see the Keldeo is weak to grass right on the bottom left when we go ahead and zoom in on that card. But he's building up this Keldeo. And what Keldeo's attack does, it costs 3 any energy. And then it also does 20 more damage for each water energy attached to it. So if it's in a water deck, it can do 110 damage if it has 3 water energy attached to it, which is really, really awesome. Really, really good card. It's also good to tech in other decks, in my opinion. So we can see, right now, this is really nice because I can play my Shiftry here. And because my Shiftry has 1 grass energy already attached to it, and it only needs 2 colorless to attack, I'm actually going to throw this double colorless down right here, which is great. And what I can do is I can Lysandre, although it's pointless. I think what I want to do is I want to end. I'm going to want to end so that I can hopefully get my switch or an energy. If I get 1 grass energy, that'd be great. I got no grass energies, unfortunately. That is absolutely terrible. Oh, that is absolutely terrible. Because I can't use Leaf Draw because I don't have a grass energy. It's saying that I can activate it, but I can't. So that, I don't know why was the point of doing that. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to leave Phoebus there. I'm tempted to go ahead and let play my Milotic, but there's really no point. The only reason why I would do that is so that I can KO it, but then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This does 20 times the amount of Pokemon. You can see Durain's Dance does 20 times the number of bench Pokemon. So we'd have a total of 6. It would do 120. It would KO the Keldeo. But then the other Keldeo would come out and KO my Shiftry. Well, not KO my Shiftry, but almost KO my Shiftry. Is it worth it? I think I'm going to wait one more turn. I'm going to wait one more turn. And I hope I'm taking things slow enough. At the beginning of every turn, you obviously see that you draw a card. He's going to use Evo Soda, which allows him to search his deck for a card that evolves to something on the field. For example, he might be searching out a Wartortle right now, which is exactly what he's doing. That tells me that he has a Blastoise in hands, which means I want to kill this thing as fast as possible. Otherwise, he's going to get all over the place. He's just going to start squirting water everywhere. And that we can't... I don't have a towel. I do not have a towel. So I can't deal with that. Really hoping that I can draw... If I don't draw a grass energy right now, I'm actually going to have to go ahead and waste my double colorless in order to retreat Phoebus and get Shiftry out there and just start bopping things. Just start bopping them left and right. Oh, we did draw grass, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Leaf Draw because there's a good chance I'll draw another energy. I don't, though, but I do have energy retrieval. Got Virizion. Virizion is great in this deck. It's an EX card, and its ability, Verdant Wind, says each of your Pokemon that has a grass energy attached to it cannot be affected by any special conditions. So that means Shiftry's immune, Miltank is immune. It's a good time. And I do actually have the switch here, which is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to switch my Shiftry in. And I would like to Lysandre for my catcher, and then hope that I can catch in that Keldeo back there, or the Wartortle. But I don't think he's got many energies in his hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna Skyla out for my catcher since I know that it's not my grave and I did have it in hand at one point. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my catcher, and what catcher does is I flip a coin of heads. I can go ahead and catch one of their Pokemon in play. It's tails though, unfortunately, so I do not get to do that, and that's the luck of the draw. I'm gonna go ahead and play my Milotic down now, because now if Shiftry dies, I'll be able to actually get energy back. There's no reason to use energy retrieval just yet because it gets me 2 basic energy cards back from my discard pile. We're going to go ahead and we're going to KO this Keldeo here. Does 320 damage, as you guys just saw. And we have N and Muscle Band. So, unfortunately, his Keldeo is going to be able to come in, and if he has the Blastoise in hand along with a couple water energy, he is going to knock me out. And there's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. There's the water energy, but he does have the Blastoise. There's the Blastoise. And that's exactly why I wanted to catch that thing in. Because now if he has any more water energy, he can just play them out and KO my Shiftry. Because right now his attack is going to do 110. He needs 2 more. Put as many cards from your hand as you like on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card for each one. So he's trying to draw more water energies. I don't think he got it though. You guys can see what, oh, and he just forfeits right there. So I apologize that it wasn't a full game because he saw that I had type advantage. So it's really tough when you don't have type advantage. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you learned anything, if you have any more questions, leave comments down below. I will answer those comments if you have any questions or concerns. Be sure to keep up with TCGO. I do have 2 other decks I'm going to be using in the future. I just wanted to kind of get this tutorial out of the way before I release those. So thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else, keep it shady.